Julius Randle has been labeled extremely tradable by NBA insider Brian Windhorst, who gave a shocking update on the New York Knicks star forward, and he believes if the Knicks wanted to, they could easily make a move, trading Julius Randle off the team, and we're going to break all of that down. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump into the video because Brian Windhorst has given an update on Julius Randle, calling him extremely tradable, which is very shocking to see considering all we have heard is that the Knicks don't really plan on trading Randle. The fact that the Knicks might have some trouble if they wanted to trade Randle. So this is definitely an update that we are surprised to see. So let's take a look. Because Brian Windhorst said, because of that $29 million salary, he's extraordinarily tradable, and the Knicks still do have a couple of extra first round, not extra, there's no extra anymore, meaning first round picks, of course. The Knicks do still have a couple of first round picks that they can move, and also said that Randle earns a very attractive $29 million, meaning it's not that much, especially with how much players get paid nowadays. Look at Steph Curry's $63 million contract per year. His player option for next season is $31 million. His value, if he is 100%, is more than that. There is no reason why, if he is playing at the top of his game, why he shouldn't seriously consider opting out of that. He's eligible for a 4-year, $181 million extension, not the max, but a significant number. However, the Knicks have to be careful with their salary commitments because of OG Anunoby. Even though that Brunson's on a huge discount, that is a big salary out there, and they're going to have to extend Mikal Bridges as well. Something that Windhorst also didn't mention is the same year the Knicks have to extend Mikal Bridges, they also have to extend Josh Hart and Dante DiVincenzo. Now, looking at Randle, he had a great season last year that was unfortunately cut short due to an injury, putting up 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists per game while shooting 47% from the field and 31% from three. He didn't shoot too many of them, but shot over 50% on corner threes, which is because of the low volume, but still nice to see. Shoots less threes than he has in years past, working more in the paint with the more spacing the Knicks have given him over his time in New York. So essentially what we're looking at here is Brian Windhorst does believe that Julius Randle, because he is on an expiring contract or could be expiring contract, that moving him will not be too hard if the Knicks decide to move him. The big question is, will the Knicks decide to move Julius Randle? I've pretty much stood firm on the fact that I don't think the Knicks are going to move Julius, considering how well this team is built around him. And Fred Katz has kind of said the same thing. But before we get into that, are you trying to kick a bad habit to the curb? Because if so, then you have to check out Fume. Have you heard that the flavored air category is quickly becoming the leading alternative to vaping and smoking? It's a whole new movement towards better habits, led by the sponsor of today's video, Fume. Fume has a lot of delicious flavors to choose from crisp mint to cinnamon hearts. They have a flavor just for you. And with flavored air, you can satisfy your oral fixation through a passive diffusion system that utilizes no electronics, no vapor, and no combustion. Fume has served over 300,000 customers, and you can be their next success story. So guys, for a limited time only, use our code DIGEST to get a free topper. It's the perfect accessory to your Fume device. Slip it onto the mouthpiece for a softer, warmer feel. It's chewable for those who love to fidget, and it's also reusable. So guys, head to tryfume.com. That is tryfum.com. And use code DIGEST or scan this QR code right here to get your free Fume topper when you order your Journey Pack today. So once again, that is tryfum.com. Use code DIGEST, free topper. It's a can't miss situation. But let's get into the video. Both Knicks insiders, Fred Katz and Ian Begley, have discussed the idea of trading Julius Randle. And, well, they've both kind of given the same thought, which is that they don't really see the Knicks moving him, something that I have said in the past. Obviously, Brian Windhorst is not a New York Knicks beat writer, so Katz and Begley do have more of the day-to-day information of the Knicks, where Windhorst is an ESPN insider, knows more about the interior workings of the NBA than most people do, most likely knows more than Katz and Begley definitely about just the general NBA inside news. But also, he will hear stuff that Katz and Begley might not hear, considering they're beat writers and their jobs are different, which does add some interesting perspective. So when you look at what these guys say, we've kind of seen a repeating pattern. Now, from a while ago, Fred Katz did say, and by a while I mean like a week, which is a lot in NBA news time, he said that he doesn't believe there's a team in the NBA that would value Julius Randle more than the Knicks, and he asked a rival GM or a rival front office member, and he received the answer that he expected. He said neutral at best, meaning it's not like the Knicks are going to get some great package for Randle. Teams would not even give up that much to Randle, or at least the team that Katz hit up. It's a question to who he did. Obviously, he has connections for used to being a Washington Wizards beat writer. Though also we all know the Wizards would not go for Randle for a plethora of reasons. And one of them is the fact that they're actually a good franchise now. And he doesn't really help the Wizards at all, who are trying to lose as many games as possible, in Katz's own words. Now, Begley also said it would be surprising if Randle is ready to go by the start of training camp when it comes to his injury, with his comeback is likely slated for opening night or even in the games to follow. Now, we'll get into that in a minute. But also, as Katz mentioned, there's no indication that the Knicks are trying to trade Julius, at least from 2 weeks ago. It means it's difficult to gather his true, actual trade value. Now, with that all in mind, the Knicks are probably more focused on having a healthy Julius Randle in comparison to figuring out where they're going to trade Julius Randle, as frankly, I don't think the Knicks are looking to trade Julius at all right now. As I mentioned before, Julius fits on this team really well. The team needs more than just Jalen Brunson creating offense, creating shots. Randle's the only one who does that in an all-star level on the Knicks outside of Brunson. And Randle will get the most one-on-ones at the rim than he'll ever have in his entire NBA career with this New York Knicks court spacing. He'll also have less of a defensive responsibility than he's ever had, which is also just helpful considering he's way better on the offensive end. And we all know, I'm a huge Julius Randle fan, but we all know sometimes he just doesn't give his full effort on defense, which, you know, it is what it is. When you have McHale and OG and Mitchell Robinson all there, Randle's not going to be guarding he's going to be guarding a fourth option most likely. So it's going to be fine. It'll be easier for him to kind of slack on defense a little bit because he does have a lot of offensive responsibility. And I think he will have more offensive responsibility this season than last season, just considering how well a team would run through him if you put 4 shooters around him and run him as a small ball 5, something I do think the Knicks will experiment with this season. So it is something to keep in mind. Now, obviously with the injury, yeah, he fell over Jaime Jaquez back in January. I believe it was January 31st that happened when the Knicks played the Miami Heat. And Randle didn't play another game the whole season. He tried to get his shoulder back in place so he could play in the playoffs, but it just didn't happen. He eventually opted to just get surgery, end the season. And because he got that in May, it means that it's going to take 4 to 6 months for a reevaluation. The reevaluation was expected to be in the late August, early September area. We're in early September. It is Monday, September 2nd by the time this video is coming out and by the time I'm filming it. So, as of right now, it's unclear what the true details of Randle's recovery are. It seems like it's good. He's going around all over to different countries, doing a world tour, going everywhere, going to China, going everywhere, and we see him shooting basketballs and stuff like that, which obviously is a nice sign. It's a big question to whether, okay, what exactly is happening with Julius? How's his shoulder actually? But most likely things are going well. He's a strong guy. He could handle a shoulder surgery. I think he'll be okay for that. I don't want the Knicks to rush him back, and I don't think they will. But that will have an impact on any trade value that the Knicks would have for him. So I think the fact that that's happening, that the Knicks are still just mainly focused on his recovery, means they're probably not that much looking into a trade, and that when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, they're not looking to move Julius. They'd only move him if they could get a true upgrade at the power forward position. The Knicks have a few picks to work with, as Windhorst said, so is it out of the question that they could do that? No, they easily, or not easily, but they very well, in theory, could upgrade at the power forward position and get a player better than Julius Randle. But Julius has been an All-Star 3 in the last 4 years. He's been All-NBA 3 or 2 in the last 4 years and would have been 3 if he stayed healthy. So it's one of those situations where it's going to be pretty hard to upgrade from Julius Randle. He's a top, 20 player in the NBA, top 25 player in the NBA. Like, it's going to be hard to upgrade him. There's only a few upgrades at power forward. Wow, I just voice cracked right there. And one of them's Giannis. I don't think Randle and 3 firsts is getting the Knicks Giannis because the Bucks would have no need for Randle. You'd have to do some 3-team trade. It would get really messy, and Julius is a guy who was a specific fit in specific places. I'm not saying that negatively. I'm just saying that is what it is. And one of the places where Julius fits best, well, the place that Julius fits best, is on the Knicks. I don't think the Knicks are going to move him. I think the Knicks and Randle are going to find out a way to work out a contract extension. I'm excited to see it happen, and we'll obviously report on it the second that does happen. So you want to make sure you're subscribed. Like this video. Leave a comment. What do you think on this? I know I've talked about Randle trade videos a lot. I didn't even intend on doing it again, and this dropped, and I just wanted to give a quick rundown on where things are at. But that's probably it for the Randle trade videos until any other news comes out on it that's big enough to make a video on, which would basically be if he got traded, which I'm telling you right now, I highly doubt happens. But you never know. It's the NBA. Weird things have happened in the past where there's smoke, there's fire. Let me know what y'all think down below. Have a great day. Go Knicks.